Hello, visitors of the internet. Today, I will be attempting to build a competitor to the Moonhawk. Now, I am on 1973. I ideally want a car within the past 10 years, if we go to body year. That seems to be about right for this kind of application. And oh dear, we don't have a lot available to us here, do we? The 1965 Coupe is probably the closest we can get to what I'm looking for. The Moonhawk, might I mention now, is a vehicle out of BeamNG.drive, another game I very much like. And, you know, I was going to do a Grand Marshal, but then I decided I've done too many 90s vehicles, so I'd do something different and do a car that's basically the older version of it. So that would give me less technology to play with and should still make it interesting. Now, I've just thrown some components on here. It's not going to be transverse, that's for sure. Not in a muscle car of sorts. It's not that powerful. You could still call it a muscle car though, because it's got a V8 and rear-wheel drive. The particular model I'm going to be competing with is the V8 Sport, which is a 197 horsepower model with a 4-barrel carburetor. We'll go with a standard steel ladder, because I believe a Moonhawk is a ladder, so keep that as close as realistically possible. I believe a Moonhawk has coil springs as well, so I could cheap out and go with leaves, but I don't really want to. I mean, you know, this just seems like the way an American car would be built in the early 70s, so that's what I'll go with. Now, we have two body styles. It is more of a coupe than I would like. So I think I'll go with this one. It's a bit more of a standard saloon. I think this is smaller than the Moonhawk. But again, there's not too much I can do about that. Ooh, look at that. Can kind of bring that back and turn it into more of a European-styled vehicle. Should I go with that or should I keep it American? Yeah, I think I'll keep it big and American. If we can. Can't do much with the windscreen, that's for sure. Could maybe bring that forwards. I don't know. I'm not sure where to go with this. If I bring it forwards, it definitely looks better. And we can extend the tail for hopefully better weight balance. Can we adjust this? Yes, we can flare the arches. I'm not sure we'll need to do that by any means, though. And it seems to have stuck. Unless that is... yeah, that is flared in. That's not flared out at all. I'm getting confused. Anyway, we have all these different colours. Or trim slots. I think we'll go with chrome for now. We have hopefully got bumpers. Yeah. Can have chrome bumpers. Very, very period relevant, I think, to have chrome. Although, if we were building a car in the 19... ooh, can move those mirrors. If we're building a car in the 1970s, maybe late 70s, from Europe, there wouldn't be as much chrome, that's for sure. Because European cars just generally didn't have the chrome the American counterparts did. It's always been that way, but it became more prominent when they started putting plastic bumpers on things. Or at least black non-chrome bumpers if they were metal. So, yeah, the chrome did eventually die down on American cars, but they kind of held on to it for longer. Here we have some pop-up headlights. Ooh, look at how goofy this looks. It's like, hi, I'm a real muscle car, everyone. Actually, should I lower... no, I said I want it to be American, though, like the Moonhawk is. I could try lowering that and turning it into an all European style of vehicle and having the lights there, but I don't really want that. Now, we can... yeah, let's have some of these wheels. Probably not the best, but they work for me. Can we have some headlights? I don't think I want any fancy rotating ordeals. I think I just want some simple headlights. Hopefully round ones, I would say. Because round to my eyes will work with this. It is, I believe, a Mustang body, so that won't look too bad. The new headlight ordeal does make it slightly difficult to adjust, though, in how it highlights everything. Should I make these any bigger? Oh, yes. No, I don't like that. Two big lights. They need to be the right size. And I'm going to need some indicators as well. I'm not sure where I'll squeeze the indicators specifically. I might just end up whipping off one of the Mustang designs ultimately with this. That is where things could go. Can we get any really chromed out bumpers? Are you available in chrome? We can paint them. I didn't realise a lot of this stuff when I built my Luxo barge doodad supercar. That is black though. It's not really period relevant again. Period relevant would see this car having all kinds of chrome, surely. So we can chrome the outside and we can choose between different meshes. That looks okay. I think it's more chrome than it was. Yeah, there we go. It's kind of ugly. It's kind of ugly, but if it works, I think I'll just leave it there for now. Can we encompass the lights? No, sadly we've not quite got that down. Can I go with a slightly rounded one? Now I'm getting the hang of how this system works. Could I perhaps add a mesh to this? Yes, good, good. I can add a mesh to that. And then because this is kind of more rounded, it should just fit better on the design without having to try excessively hard. Actually, if I put this slightly lower down, I do have an idea what I can do with the badge and the indicators. It might not be the best looking in the world, but this should be okay. Okay is good enough for me. There we go. I'm not sure I like this mesh. No, it's just finding the right balance, that's the thing. Still, I'm really not sure what to do with it. Because it's such a prominent... Wow. Is that just transparent? That's just a window to the front of the vehicle. Doesn't do much in my case. That doesn't look very good at all. I think that's about the best shot I've got of getting a good looking car out of it. Badges, we need one of those. We can. Let's go with something. These look vaguely like Xbox controllers in some of them. Oh, I kind of like this one in a weird way. No, I don't know what happened there though. It did go somewhere and then I couldn't find it. Ooh, let's get a Wi-Fi logo. Yes, we're going to have our car's company badge as a Wi-Fi logo. Doesn't quite fit at the top of that grille, but you know, I'm willing to say close enough in this case. I just thought turn that Citroen badge thing upside down, have a really disappointed Citroen. Indicators, some of these naturally, they do kind of go onto the edge of the grille. This is far, far from the prettiest muscle car in the world, I know, but it's going to work for me. Yeah. This is a very, very obscure vehicle. I think I'm trying too hard actually. Yeah, if I put a smaller grille on, it does actually work a little better. I was just trying too hard to put a huge grille on and have it work. Maybe I could just have tiny, tiny vents above that, and that would complete the design though, remember? We don't have to have the most sophisticated design in the world, because a lot of these older American cars, they weren't the hugest, sophisticatedest cars in the world. Well, they were probably the hugest, but they were probably not the most sophisticated. I'm going to give it a mustache, yes. It's a French businessman. That's the look I'm going for. Stereotypical French businessman. Yes, indeed. It looks less than horrific, but I think there's far, far better looking cars out there. You know, I can't pretend it's good looking. It just gets worse the more I look at it. Let's look away. Let's just look away for now. Can throw some indicators on the edge of the car here. Come on. Done. That's pretty easy. Go with some door handles. Let's go with some surprisingly modern door handles. We are a pioneer of door handle design. Indeed. We pioneered the modern door handle. That is the only contribution my car company has made to this world. Pioneering door handles. I'm sure that wheel arch should be flared in. I mean, it probably shouldn't be, but I just feel it should be. And for the back, I actually do have a plan, weirdly. Weirdly, I'm normally good at the front of cars, but then I completely lose it by the time I get to the back. Here, though, I think I know what I'm doing. There's just that 70s American cars at the back, I don't think they had that much defining designs, at least compared to certain other vehicles available in the time period. So, yeah, this can only make it easier. And that's a bit odd. Let's try and somewhat move these across. You can hopefully fit about there. There we go. And can we have our weird badge again, if I can ever find where I put that badge. Wi-Fi logo, yeah, there we go. That is it. And I think we can have a wing as well. It might not do anything, but I know some of the 60s muscle cars had wings, so no reason we can't put them on a 70s muscle car. And we can have some dual exhausts. We have the mod exhausts. Again, I'm not sure where they've gone. It just seems to sometimes put them in odd places. Have a chrome exhaust tip there. We can hopefully mirror that. And they are our exhausts. Beautiful. So all that's left now is to put a surprisingly sophisticated rear door handle on and a fuel filler cap. Well, this'll do. It's technically a bonnet vent, but you know, I found it in time. Oh. The boot's not there. Just pretend the boot reaches down there, because that's what I planned for in my design. Now, wings. We won't have a front lip, or will we? Could have a very basic front lip, I guess, if there's one available. Like, this rear wing doesn't seem like anything too sophisticated, but it seems to be the kind of thing I need. There we go. No, try and jump to a white location, not the wrong location. There's me PC fans are going berserk. And there we go, there's our rear wing. Maybe not perfect looking, but it looks okay to me. I think I can, no, extend it the other way, I mean. There we go. That looks just about right now. And can we go on a front lip of sorts? This seems like one for the era, so just throw that down there beneath the front bumper. And there we go. It looks a lot more 60s than I would have expected for a 70s kind of muscle barge thing. Would you call the Moonhawk a barge? It's kind of mid-size, so I don't know. This is, I think, smaller. But, yeah, I don't know. My mind crash. I think this is smaller, but what can I do? I think that's it, though. I think I've done the entire design, so we can chrome the mirrors. If it lets me, I can chrome the mirrors. No. Doesn't let me adjust them. Possibly because they're included on the design. Window trim, that's all adjusted. So we could have a chrome bonnet. I don't see the point of that, though. Or what we could do that thing they used to do on certain cars, make it black. I know that's technically plastic, but brutal black, because that would kind of symbolise something was a sports car, I think. Isuzu definitely did it with one of their cars to signify that it was the sport version, I think, of a otherwise standard vehicle. they just painted the bonnet black, and it does work. It does somewhat make this look sportier, although I don't like it, so I'm going to go back to a more standard colour. Yeah, let's paint our entire car pink, shall we? Ooh, lovely. Lovely, lovely. True men drive pink cars and all that. And I've got chrome around the windows, but my bumpers have gone pink. Oh dear. I want my bumpers to be chrome, but my car to be pink. There we go, that's lovely. Now, that's all done. What engine do we want? I'm thinking a V6. We could go with a V8, but I'll try a 90-degree V6. Should make for some interesting driving stuff. We won't be going with aluminium, that'll be higher end. We'll go with a 4.5 litre V6. I can just check how large the Moonhawk's engine is now if I zoom in on this old Galaxy S2. I say old, if you're watching this in 2011, it's actually quite a modern phone. I'm not sure how that's possible, but hey, it sometimes is possible if you're a time traveller. Now, it's got 197 horsepower and 4 litres inline 6 and a 6.2 litre V8. So, no, I'm going to make a stupidly huge V6. This is going to be a really, really bad idea. But hey, I'm setting it up for high RPM, so what could possibly go wrong? I probably won't make the same power as that Moonhawk with the efficiency, but, you know, I have to try. I have to try. Now, I'm going with a smaller engine at least. I know I can do that much if nothing else. Just zoom through this stuff and get a basic engine. Now, the Moonhawk has a single 4-barrel carburetor, I think. However, I believe if I go with two 2-barrel carburetors, I may be able to get better performance out of it. Same if I go with, well, I would say 3 of those, but you can only put 2 of them on. So, I'll try 2 barrels, and it's giving me the waste intake, oh dear. I may go with performance intake, mind, because it is a performance car. I'll just have to see whether I think it's worth it at the end of it all. Is that what we've got? Oh, we need fuel quality. I'll design it for regular leaded, or regular, even, I guess, because we can go with unleaded. And what's the best cast iron exhaust we can get? Yeah, that's normally when development time jumps up massively though, engineering time even. So we'll look at that. Cast log, I think it really restricts power, but that is very easy to engineer, should it be, coming to it. But as I say, I'm making a smaller engine. I have to get the power somehow. I may even go for an overhead cam if it needs it, but I don't know. 197 horsepower isn't the hugest amount of power in the world, so that's something. We can have dual or single exhaust. Now, I've got dual exhaust on the back of the car, and single, I don't know what's it doing there. Ah, it joins later on. It would join just behind the engine on the older versions of automation. We can go with a catalytic converter. We'll probably need that to keep up with emissions regulations. And we can go with a single reverse flow muffler. Probably not enough, but you know, we've got to save money somewhere. 18 horsepower. Yes, it's a success. No, it's not. If I times that by 10, maybe it would have been a success, but as it stands, not really. 158 though. That's what I'm seeing from an initial tune, and it's gaining actually. 162. 164 even. I'm probably going to adjust other bits as well. Ooh. All the bits are failing. I'll probably adjust the fuel mixture though. That'll take some power naturally. Anyway, I'll hopefully lower this RPM a bit and just get a worker, get a winner. Come on. There we go. I've managed to get it working now. There's high levels of stress, but it shouldn't fail and blow up, which is definitely a positive if you ask me. Now, manual testing. So, it's one heavy inline 6, or V6, at 281.1 kilograms. I got there eventually. And it's a huge, heavy weight over front wheels. However, the advantage of it being a V6 is naturally that it sits further back. Like, you'll see the front of the wheel, front of the tyres just there, and then the V6 compared to the V8, because we have 2 less cylinders sticking forwards, at least in a longitudinal layout, that is a positive. We're going with rear wheel drive and a manual. 2-speed, no, we won't go with a 2-speed. We don't get any info here yet. We can go with a 4-speed. Should be good enough, and I think it's the same as the Moonhawk has. Even if 5 speeds are technically available, I don't see why it will need it. It's not trying to be a European handling car. Open differential, we don't have any kind of circuit-orientated differentials. They're all designed mainly for off-roading, so I think open is going to be the best in this certain circumstance. We'll go with medium compound. Wow, I'm impressed. 245. Admittedly, they will go a bit narrower, but still, I should be able to fit some decent size wheels here. I could fit sportier 15 inches and still fit 215s, but mind, we do also have this, so 225s, 235s. I think I'm happy to leave it at 235. I think that's the balance level I'm happy at. So at the point it stops accepting 235s is a point I'll sit it at. Yeah, so 665. We can have 235 front and rear. There is a lot of tyre profile there, but for the 70s, I don't think that's too bad. I don't think 235s and 15-inch wheels is too unusual for the time, but, you know, I fitted a surprisingly good amount of balance in there. Better than I expected, honestly. I expected it to be terrible, but then I did get used to very, very old standards. This is not going to be great. I believe the Moonhawk has solid discs, at least in this trim level. So that's what we'll go with on the front. Or should we go with drums? We could go with slightly fancier drum brakes. They would definitely be less likely to fail. Just go with huge drum brakes. Yes, indeed. Indeed, huge drum brakes. What could possibly go wrong with this vehicle? I don't know, though. It's like having a car go to the 70s and then still have drum brakes on the front. It doesn't sound very appealing, does it? So I'll just go with some large disc brakes. Hopefully this won't cost a stupid amount of money, as you might expect. Brake balance can stay the same. We'll go with a semi-clad undertray. Keep this thing as aerodynamic as possible because it's not got the power to hit high speed by itself. We'll go with 5 seats, a standard interior, with a radio, and we want power steering because it's going to be a heavy car, so without power steering you would have a difficult time getting this round corners. Do we want safety? I'd say probably standard safety. Nothing too aggressive in that respect. How much weight does it add though, and how much cost does it add? There's a lot of engineering time to have advanced safety on it, and it adds some weight, but not the hugest amount in the world. Not for a muscle car at least, and it adds a lot of material costs. It's material costs that I guess put me off that most of all. We can go with some standard suspension to keep it cheap. Set up for comfort because muscle cars are generally set up this way. Sport, yes, nah. It's a big sloppy barge of a sports car. And my engine's gonna fail anytime soon. Top speed is apparently 64 miles per hour. Yay! Well, that's good if you're in, what, 1905. Not for this time. 1,600 kilos? I could be doing a lot worse there. I could be doing a lot worse for the weight of this vehicle. And where am I? I'm on the engine. I want to get onto the transmission to just see how much speed I can extract with a current engine tune. Oh dear. It's looking weak. 120. So that could be a lot worse than it is. I'm not too disappointed with that. 122.3 makes me reasonably happy. 13 miles per gallon. Really? That is not great. That is not too great at all. 55.8% front weight distribution though. Again, not bad. So, all I can do now, I guess, is adjust the engine and hopefully improve an auto to 60 and economy and everything else as a result of that. So I'll return when I've done it. Okay, so here you'll see the Vadeway Pluto Crusher, as I've called it, has set a 2 minutes 41.53 time, which puts it just below the Tortoise Turbo and a Sensible Motors vehicle I can't remember. And it's above a Weissmobile, a vintage speedster, and the second version of a Tortoise, the non-sport version. So hey, I mean, it's not embarrassed itself, I can say that much, but for a muscle car, I would say it's quite poor. Yet at the same time, remember the Tortoise was quite a solid platform. It was just shipped with a terrible engine to begin with. But then the Tortoise second generation, I would say, was probably one of the better vehicles I built, as in it was a fairly solid 80s front wheel drive platform. This vehicle, it now has a V8, as you may have noticed at the top, and it's 5.5 litres because I had to do that to make the power I really wanted from this. Could probably have made it slightly smaller and still got Moonhawk power, but that wouldn't have been good enough for me. Now, I have also changed to a cast iron flat plane crank, as the engineering time is the same, but it's a cheaper unit and it's slightly lighter, so hard to find a fault in that really. I've got a 90-degree V8, same push rod and everything, but not too much to say of it really. A lot of it is just the same. Okay, so that's the sound of it. Now, I'll take this moment to briefly mention it is a square engine. I can probably go back and show you. I made a square engine because honestly I couldn't be bothered finding specifics. So I just made a square engine and said, let's be done with it. The exhaust is slightly larger as well, but otherwise the same as it was before. It has the power coming on at 4800 RPM as opposed to the 4000 of the Moonhawk, so it's more European in that respect, more like a Ferrari engine. Torque comes along at 4400, as you hopefully just saw back then, whereas on the Moonhawk, torque, when I find it, hopefully, torque is somewhere, comes along at 1850 to 3350, so it makes a torque a lot earlier and a lot more consistently by the looks of it, but my engine is still the way it is because I've tried to make more power from a smaller engine. That's generally what happens, unless I had a significant age difference on my side. It wasn't really going to play out any differently. We've still got a longitudinal rear wheel drive layout, but I have gone with a 5-speed. That's because, again, the lack of torque. In order to compete, I had to go with the extra gear to give it that low-end performance, and then I just made the gearing very tight. It's still 0.1 of a second slower than the Moonhawk to 60, but I think that's passable. It's close enough, but it's still not, you know, far off, so I can get by with it. I also put sport compound tyres on. It gets 10.8 miles per gallon. That is very, very poor. But then would a car like this ever be good at that? I don't know. Probably worse than a Moonhawk, to be honest. But I've built what I built. I can't really try and change it now because I would just end up messing something up. It's also 1650 kilograms. How it's heavier, I'll go on to that in a moment. But I have just remembered, how did I get that miles per gallon? I need to mention quad eco carburetor. It sounds mad, but that's the way it is. I wonder if I go on performance intake, if that'll improve the miles per gallon. Yeah, it supposedly does, not by that much though. Improves power a bit, but you know, it's a bit late for that since I've already taken it around the test track. And I'm easily in the clear for power. But yeah, if I I did have, I think it was two barrels or 3 single barrels. The two barrels, that gives me more power. I can get 210 horsepower out of that with otherwise identical hardware to it with the eco carburetors, but that, again, 9.6 miles per hour, probably better when I've adjusted the compression, but still, it was getting 10.9 when I just adjusted the gears with the 4-speed, but that was before I put the premium interior in. Yes, I've got a premium interior because the brakes are also the same as I did ages ago, but I'm getting sidetracked. I got a premium interior now because it was doing quite well for muscle premium on the car classes, so I just decided, hey, I'm going to put a premium interior in it. Also, the Moonhawk has wood and things on the interior, so it's likely that was quite a premium car back in the day. If we look at suspension, I think I just set it for comfort, honestly. Comfort free preset completely. 1650 kilos of hardcore muscle car stuff. Yeah. I think it's still showing a V6 in here, but it is a V8, believe me. It goes 130 miles per hour as well. Not too bad considering how underpowered it is. The max speed of the Moonhawk, so I read, is 120 miles per hour. So, you know, even nothing else, we have beaten it massively for top speed by 10 miles per hour. Probably due to it just being a smaller car and having less drag, if I'm entirely honest. Now, not much more I can speak of. I have added 10% to market, and you'll see. Quite competitive for affordability on Muscle Premium. And Muscle generally likes it. So, you know, we're seeing it for what it is. They're not seeing it as, I don't know, a convertible supercar, which it clearly is not. Aerodynamics are not well at all. But then so they wouldn't be. It's a 1970s car. Aerodynamics weren't developed near as much as today, even in Formula 1. Now, the red line is 5200 RPM. But it could have gone a bit higher if it really needed to. It just didn't want to, so I didn't bother. We have the solid axle coil rear and double wishbone front suspension, and all this stuff I've gone through before. 56% front weight distribution. That might be better than before because of a premium interior weighing it back down on the rear of the car. Either way, I think it's quite good for a muscle car. So, in that particular respect, we've not done bad. Well, there's nothing more to really say about this. I'll show you the engine, which is probably the old engine anyway. But look at all that space. Yeah, could fit a huge engine in there. But anyway, I'm going to leave it here. And I'm going to say, take the chassis off. I'm going to say goodbye until another day.